Hello fellow armchair generals and other bloodthirsty fans who love the sight of dead empires and raced cities, and of course the glory of seeing all but one of our 61 civilizations fight each other for supremacy on the most beautiful of all planets, Earth. Now slowly becoming more toxic as the world fills with smoke from past Tunic city raisings. I am Professor Reddit, and I graciously accept the offer from our glorious founding father and mega overlord TPangolin to narrate this episode. As always, it would be awesome for anybody who hasn't already to subscribe to r/Civ Battle Royale, so that we can all collectively enjoy the great maps, country ball comics, more maps, statistics porn, and other forms of awesomeness that floods the subreddit each day. Let the games begin. Or, continue as we left them last time. Another iteration of the animated GIF Mac by Kitki, based off of the amazing cartographic skills of Cylon L. Our brave Babylonian Agent M, who is secretly working in the underground rooms of the Kremlin, has found out that drunk Stalin, after having 6 bottles of vodka, ordered his troops to go on vacation in Southeast Asia. To do this, he has planned a botched invasion, in which thousands of drunk, vodka-ridden Soviet soldiers will build an enormous tunnel leading to Rangoon, and invade the empire from there. He executed all generals who said that it would be impossible. Unfortunately, these generals had a distaste for vodka, and now Stalin has pretty incompetent officers in their place. While this drama unfolds, Burma still hasn't done anything against Vietnam other than being target practice for volunteers defending the walls of Vijaya. In fact, I wonder if the Trunk sisters even still remember that they are at war in the first place. This war is irrelevant, just like Burma. I spy with my little eye something beginning with S. If you guessed Spearman, you are correct. There is just one by the capital. Next! It seems that with the brilliant and cunning help of Fyodor Ushakov, the Carthaginians should easily be able to clear out Antium without losing a single ship, because that was actually true. Fyodor was Russia's most illustrious naval commander, and he never ever lost a ship. Thank you, Wikipedia. Assuming this, Sparta stands no chance, which would be true if Sparta was accidentally a shanty. Nevertheless, Antium is on the verge of being taken while reinforcements arrive on land, and the IU Bid Scout set up camps on the Italian peninsula, dreaming of potentially becoming that Polish scout, but realizing that to do so you needed to camp on a choke point. Silly Saladin. Of note, Maria, we have a great opportunity to take Rome before reinforcements arrive. Should we dispatch a large fleet to take it? We can do a Bilmer here. Meh, let's just party at Funchal and wait where the Carthaginians lose triremes and units. Either lazy Portugal yet again, or a potentially wise Portugal. England has made peace with Ireland. Big news. Now Elizabeth will have to compliment being just purely England and not most of Wales and Cornwall too. Big victory for Ireland as well. They didn't do much in the Northern Front, and they lost plenty of units, but taking Nottingham enables a great edge on England, and further squeezes that little turtle back into its shell. And now she will have to deal with a channel owned by France, herself and Ireland, and the sea route through Hastings means passing through one tile owned by Ireland unless you can go overland a bit. Also, York is almost empty of units defending. Come on, Napoleon, this is your chance. Take that city right now, and you will look even more powerful on the map. And while this happens, Hitler can go blitzkrieg through northern France and take back his beloved Cologne and sweep through France in 3 weeks, thus help in easing the Lebensraum crisis, because seriously, it's getting really crowded now. Meanwhile, on the other side of the planet, Japan and Mongolia declare their love for each other. But this is Battle Royale, so this doesn't mean much unless they plan to work together in overthrowing their Babylonian watchers. In revenge for losing past wars to the Eyes, Ethiopia has taken on building 3 citadels, all the way up to Baalbek and Aswan. Whether or not these were here before, I don't know, but at least Selassie's anger is somewhat dealt with, one citadel at a time. Interesting to note that Arabia has open borders with Israel. King David must always be cautious. lest a long-awaited and ridiculously easy invasion occurs, which won't last long. I had faith in Israel at first, but he should stop doing God knows what and build units. Buccaneer triremes hold off against Mayan ships, but something else mysteriously looms. Polynesian warriors are marching in great numbers throughout Latin America, or more importantly, Mayan lands. If the Bucks or Texas continue fighting, the Polynesians might shield them. Either that or they are plotting commiserating, silently discussing future plans in utmost secret. Or it could just be that they like the vacation sites. Why are we always so suspicious about these completely explainable events? I mean, come on. Haven't we all seen other countries send their soldiers to another sovereign nation fully armed and fully primed and constantly on alert and setting up camps and emplacements across the countryside? Jandamara decides to prove to Henry Parks just how cool he is at DOWing people and asserting military superiority. Problem is that he mistook the Indonesians for Timurids. Henry Parks was quick to take note and reportedly laughed so loud in his nice lodge that people as far away as Darwin heard him. Needless to say, Jandamara was upset and felt bullied. A little peek at Australia's Grand Wobbegong Armada as well, it also seems that it is indeed stopping the boats as intended. Although not even the most advanced Babylonian satellites have determined exactly what is happening to those caught up in the Armada. It all seems to be operational on water matters, according to a former Minister for Women and Captain Caller, who shall not be named. The city of Bundaberg in all its glory. The settlers have always been quite intrigued by the Moai rocks that would have belonged to Polynesia, but who have never actually visited the island. Plus, the island should rightfully and realistically belong to Chile, but those guys still don't have caravels. It has always been a massive debate in Australia about this. Talks of a force unknown to man being behind this, or maybe it was a message sent by a mysterious supergod with untold powers who is watching us and setting up events and gatherings to watch down upon us and who hangs out on those weird-looking black Babylonian ships every Sunday and Wednesday. This last one angered many Australians, citing the 100% atheist population. As a result, the man who made this hypothesis was punished by being thrown into a giant tub of Vegemite. It should be noted that many people do not consider this punishment at all. The United States and Blackfoot are also now friends. Babylonians are angered by these movements of pacifism and want more violence. Another insight into the Dark Continent. I can see why Babylonians always say "humph" and walk away. Nothing much happening other than some of those Polynesians moving further south wanting to experience the jungles of Cambodia, infamous for their rum-running hideouts by buccaneers, hiding from Brazilians and Incan patrols. Yawn. And boom, there goes the second war of really tight mountain passes. The timid Timurids already have the upper hand, but this is a one-tile passage. All Armenia needs to do is pull a 300 with ranged units behind and just fight. This might result in a lawsuit between Sparta and Armenia, but Tiridates needs to worry a little more about his fleet in the Caspian Gulf, I think. Not having control of it would enable amphibious landings by the Timurids, which could be disastrous if left unchecked, and if enough units land. Oh wow, look at Yakutia. So amazing, isn't it? Those boomsticks really do come in real handy. If only you could actually go to fucking war, you wankers! Do something! You are our only hope of great entertainment. ScoutCon 1360 is also going well, however attendance does feel a little less, as Finnish and Mongolian scouts leave citing boredness and yet again Israeli hosting. It should also be noted that once unbeatable Yakutian carpet is also thinning out. And boom, second DOW, but let's hope that Mirwaiso Tank is more prepared. If he learned his lesson last time, then Afghanistan will certainly become a graveyard of the Timurid Empire, or at least just a city or two. I'm loving these actually relevant wars, aren't you guys? Ferdinand Magellan is now looking at helping out the Icelanders a bit. He will personally lead an Icelandic expedition to the Orient in search of a western trade route for Iceland to follow. Whether the mutinies start to get boring and repetitive, and whether he will die in the Philippines in a battle depends, of course. Iceland is also adopting a strategy I normally do when defending strategically or not placed civs. Defend the only ways to get to your empire and have spare reservists stationed a fair distance from each other in the remote, unclaimed / semi-safe areas. And have big navies. I feel like the AI is evolving. Fortunately, the year 1360 BCE is not when Terminator is released. Aha, here is what we have been waiting for. Texan troops have regrouped and are charging at Mexico City. Austin angered so many people, Mexico is dead meat. If Texas can surround the city with spear strength and attack with sheer force, then Mexico will certainly have some nice, painful and agonizing peace terms, the like of Versailles. Rest assured, poor old Sam Houston now has a capital to rebuild. Completely. 2 pop is 6,000 people. 26 pop, what they started off with, is about 9.5 million. Holy shit, what the fuck happened? Did the Reapers from Mass Effect arrive briefly and just casually commit galactic genocide and left coinciding with the Mexicans? So many conspiracies.
The pattern has repeated itself more times than you can fathom. Organic civilizations rise, evolve, advance, and at the apex of their glory, they are extinguished.
Ouchie ouch, Ashanti ain't having a nice day-to-day at all. Congo just took Atebubu. With 2 cities left, Tutu is fucked. But I can't stop noticing Kumasi. Did the Congo go in, attack and just leave? According to the latest war map, Morocco is just at war with Ashanti and Congo. Mali horseman and Boer scout blocks the road to Kumasi, and Congo has naval superiority, so either Tutu saw a quick attack on Kumasi with superior force before the Mali closed in, which is unlikely, or Congo just saw a nice West African colony to take was available. Either way, Morocco's price of war from the Congo is slowly shifting from his grasp, so it was good while it lasted. Enlightened Brazilians from across the empire all celebrate a new era in world history. Perhaps this era will turn the Dark Continent into a great center of culture, art and science. But in the meantime, a large convoy of Argentine soldiers march northward, seemingly to inflict some revenge on the Bucks. Henry Morgan will have a delightful day ahead of him, in more well-paying fight scenes for future movie directors. Brazil takes it back, but will it last? Or more importantly, will they even capture Cartagena? Again, more fight scenes for Henry Morgan. Brazil loves those beautiful stalemates so much. Even if Pedro succeeds, it won't last long. Buccaneer reinforcements are all around Port Royale, the capital, so it won't last long at all. Whoa, wait a minute. Sparta retook Antium? Looking back, I guess Admiral Fyodor Ushakov was a genius. So much so that he must have taken the city without the Babylonians noticing. Damn it, T-Pang! I feel like a detective doing detective work on finding out what did Sparta do with the Byzantines. Where did they go? I just narrate things here based on your screenshots. The people must know about these glorious events. I blame the satellites. In breaking news, after a long time of several decades since last stupid war, Yakutia has declared war on the Timurids. When will an actual war occur? The Last Legion, starring a real genuine Roman legion mixed with a pair of ballistas hiding from Spartan dominance in Anatolia. Unsurprisingly, inspired Babylonians have watched it, making the movie a major box office success on board their submarines. I just find this so sad, however. And what will happen if the open borders aren't renewed? Seriously though, these soldiers must be really loyal to the Empire, especially after Caesar's massive orgy death at the hands of Leonidas I himself and the fall of the Empire. We need constant updates from our satellites about the movements of these brave fighters. What will happen, I dare ask? Tiridates is not doing well out in the Caspian Sea, which is very bad news indeed, but Armenian troops line the coast watching out. Meanwhile, timid Timurid pikemen are at the gates of Bukhara, so, you know, watch out. Also, I thought Yakutia just signed peace with the Timurids, and wrote a full-blown 300-word satire report below about it before realizing that it was the sword animation, signaling war, fading out periodically. I'm trying too hard to narrate this. I demand a formal wage increase from... This message was deleted by the Praise TPang Association for giving us this awesome series, for revealing private information and blasphemy. Please carry on. And just like Leningrad and that battle that people are starting to forget, the Sioux resettled their old city of Itatsipko. Meanwhile, Henry Morgan invites Eva Perón to Port Royale, and despite her defiance to being offered rum to drink, she eventually concedes. And after more drinking and dating, she eventually drunkenly signs a peace treaty. From now on, she will forever protest and strenuously deny she ever made a deal with a pirate or have a friendly conversation with him. But of course, pirates never forget. They know the truth. She doesn't want other people to hear that she committed a humiliating sin in Argentina. Texas has made peace with the Inuit. There might have been a chance that the Inuit went through Blackfoot territory to fight Texas, but it didn't happen. Also, these wars must mean Sam Houston is considered a warmonger, which is stupid. Sam was invaded by the US and Mexico and took Baltimore. Another war with Canada gave them a free Philadelphia, and now a free Puebla. These guys face against all odds, but they still lose their capitals in a double city flip. Also, I think Lincoln is secretly supporting Texas and helping him win the BR, with both of these cities eventually finding their way to Houston's doorsteps. More conspiracies. Texan forces are having a massive difficulty taking the city. Many units are massively damaged, and that army, which was seemingly going to take Mexico City, just left and headed back to Houston. What? Talk about retribution. Hey guys, let's go take our revenge on Mexico for committing genocide against Austin and allying themselves with a massive ancient galactic synthetic race of machines and murdering 9.5 million people in the midst of fighting. And then 2 turns later they just give up. Come on, Sam Houston, we believe in you. The Grand Wobbegong Armada has taken Quezon. This opens up attack to mainland Philippines and Butuan. Taking Butuan would open the front lines even more for the Aussies, and will really tear them up. While there is a big threat of overextension by the Aussies, there are still plenty of reserves at Pangasinan, forcing their way up the coast to Quezon. No matter what happens, Pangasinan is definitely staying in Australia for a long time. Sorry Rizal, but you better sign peace now, or else Australia is going to snowball dramatically. And with these ridiculously OP ships, now I mean snowball hard. Oh, hey, is it okay as narrator for being a little biased, or a lot biased? I do have the power to effectively change public opinion to suit my evil, sinister needs for our glorious nation, so... maybe? Whoa, okay. Lazy Portugal, maybe lazy no more? Sneaky Maria sniping the prize. Might not last long, but it shows the war spirit that is Maria and her stupid political decisions that contribute an enormous amount to Babylonian comedy and media. It should be noted, however, that Carthage has been booted out by Portugal as a result, so Sparta will have to deal with this himself. Also, just notice that Spartan city at the base of Italy near Antium. Sparta is Spartanizing the former Roman Empire, just like what Rome did to all its provinces. Oh, the irony. A very detailed account from Recruit M's about Stalin's plan for socialism in one country and how it's going. Almost a secret plot every 2 turns. Man, M is really good. Either that or Stalin is onto us and feeding us lies. God damn it, Stalin. Stop using your NKVD against us and instead focus on those damn Huns when sending them to the Arctic Gulag camps. Whatever he's doing, drinking more vodka it seems, I am stunned by just how many plots he has in storage now. The Kremlin must be full of these top-secret documents of Stalin's plans hidden underneath in those secret tunnels and rooms. Fascinating. Philippine forces, in a surprising twist, recapture Quezon and slightly push back the Australians, but not for long. While we might need to say goodbye to that poor caravel slightly northwards, the Aussies have an enormous backlog of ships tying all the way to modern-day Port Moresby. You know bad things are gonna happen when a fleet extending several IRL 1,000 kilometers, all densely packed, is heading your way. Also note, the Aussie settlers in the bottom left. I think it's pretty clear now how Henry Parkes plans. Also, Kimberleys are just standing back and watching. Do something, Jandamara, quick! Capitalize on this war! A nice look at the frozen people up north. A relatively strong expansive empire with surprisingly good core cities for these frozen lands, and a strong navy can only mean good things for these people. Although, I can't stop noting those ships in the Arctic. I think the Inuit think we are hiding far up north, and are hunting for our sub. Haha, good luck, Inuits. I think Chile is a lot closer to us, but do keep looking, and please don't kill those poor seals you hunt us for. I like seals, and war. Lots of war. Oh wait, sorry. TPang especially highlighted this new city on the screen. My mistake. Oh yes, and yeah, a new city, guys, in Inuit lands. Pretty cool, huh? I know. Very impressive. 2 food and a river? Fascinating. TPang's note, I was mainly pointing at that city because it's evident that the Inuit have settled so many cities that they've burned through their entire city list. A very nice and detailed image of Australia and the Kimberley along the border. That will make the power rankers very happy. The Kimberley also fittingly hire a Portuguese navigator by the name of Henry to guide them with their age of discovery. Needless to say, Maria is not pleased. Notable lack of land units in the interior. Seems like the fear of wildlife and living conditions is preventing an all-out war. Well, there you go. Also, with the Indonesian galleasses and triremes carpet, the Kimberley might have a more immediate threat in his way. Regardless, taking down Indonesia will make his position far more formidable in diplomacy. Don't underestimate trireme and galleass carpets, can be especially scary at your back door. Luckily, Kimberley does have a fairly formidable navy. In the far reach of the South Pacific, Australian settlers set sail seeking a new life in the hopes of aiding in the growth and eventual snowball that is Australia. As a nation that slowly encroaches eastward toward the Dark Continent, settling cities along the way and building warships at breakneck speed, one must wonder who in South America can catch up to this naval giant and carve a city in a part of the South Pacific for themselves. Rule Australia, rule the waves. Aussies will never be slaves. Elizabeth was considering a lawsuit because of this, but promised that she would wait until she got ships of the line, which might take a little while for her. Oh, and yeah, Quezon is ours again. Flipping won't last long, trust me. I think. We all remember Bilma, don't we? Peace has been achieved. Remember the Austin was a pointless campaign to begin with. While Mexico was probably not going to turn the tables just yet, if at all, Texas, despite gaining Puebla, will have to recover for a long time. Their army didn't take the greatest beating, but losing your capital is a humiliation and sign of weakness. The 9.5 million people will be remembered for centuries to come, but the pain will still live on for sure. Austin might not ever fully recover to its former glory, as being the baby capital of the world, and for being one of the main reasons how Texas had such a massive pop. Mexico hit Texas where it hurt most. Not many carpet units in northern Indonesia. Maybe Gajah Mada knows who the real threat is. The city of Geelong is also relatively undefended and easy pickings, and the frigate over there is taking a beating, but the fact that it is completely undamaged is saying a lot. Rizal did a good job initially holding off the Champa, Aussies, Japanese, Hawaiians and Kimberley at roughly the same time, but still losing cities. But now it's critical. He has lost, or lost at some point, numerous cities, even his core cities. Even having a couple of Champan ships shoot at Manila a little bit, and this weakness is deepening himself more and more and more into a big sad hole. I know he can pull himself out, but only if he survives this first. Oh hey, and if you follow that cursor in the bottom left, you get to see those nice delicious fishes the Kimberley regularly fetch. Apparently, the Babylons have yet to discover sailing. What about nuclear fission, telecommunications, atomic theory, and electronics? Research that Nebuchadnezzar II. Was this sub you have recently stolen from IRL, and then time-traveled back to 4000 BCE in another dimension? Even more conspiracies. We need a sub for this now, I think. r/Civ Battle Royale Conspiracy. So much to discuss about. I must see if this exists. While on shore leave in Hawaii, on two different cities, a Yakut caravel and an Australian caravel meet. The captains agree to meet ashore and share luxuries at Hilo, and try to avoid the huddled masses of many millions of Polynesians on just a small island there. The Yakuts enjoyed hearing the stories of the wildlife and the joys of colonizing islands rightfully belonging to Polynesia, and the Aussies were intrigued by the doctrine of the Yakut people of declaring stupid wars of no importance and in the meantime hunt for bears in the Far East with their cool new boomsticks. Meanwhile, the crews of the ships show each other weapons and even fire a few of them, angering locals, since they don't have caravels. After the 3-day hangout, the Australians had to leave and resume their mission, but not before telling the Yakutians of the city of Bundaberg and its nearby mysteries. The Yakutian captain is skeptical but curious, if true, and vows to see it for himself, and also leaves port destined for this island. Oh, hello, little children. I see you in Poland still have a couple of spearmen running around and warriors. Not good, children. Upgrade them at once, and then you may resume your little game of war. But speaking of Hitler, he is one littler persistent littler bugger. Losing one city was an inconvenience to him. His Kriegsmarine isn't big, but at least it has galleasses, which most civs have now, but oh well. And at least he didn't do any much majorly stupid. He just needs to move up quickly and fast. This is the Renaissance. Falling now is failing the game. Take advantage of other sufferings and wars and move in and blitzkrieg fast. Beside Lebensraum needs to be fixed up, right? A beautiful shot of the remains of England in actual England. Just two little stale cities ripe for taking. Also note the brand new, pretty well-placed citadel in Wales. That is just one of many cruel territorial annexations that will continue until somebody falls. A sad but true reality, Elizabeth. I think you should just call Winston Churchill in from the future and help embolden the British cause. No, wait. Just English now, of course. The Trunk Sisters have entered the Renaissance era, and with that a new era of feeding back Mao cities and reminding Tibet who the real empire is begins. Vietnam is also the intersection of 3 different religions: Shinto, Buddhism, Akatu, and the I don't know people. So don't be surprised if Japan, Burma, not right now, and Tibet start warring with each other with great profits and missionaries all happening in Vietnam. While Paul Kruger just reminded himself that he had a declare war button on the leader screen and was curious, and so he pressed it. This one has only supply line for Kruger, and this could break him if Saladin is smart. A single tile connects the core of the Burr Empire to Klerksdorp, which will be really annoying for Paul Kruger. It can be widened by 1 if the Congo offers open borders, but until then the Ayyubids just need to be smart. Saladin has a big army at Diadawa, so if there's actual fighting it will be interesting. Aha! Another face shows up. Mansa Musa pulls the diplomatic middle finger but forgets he has 2 really annoying cities bordering Saladin. Good job, Mali. Saladin, of course, graciously accepts this double free city offer. Meanwhile, Congo forces advance onto Denkira, with defiant Ashanti rallying behind the city, and Mali does stuff. As in not pushing the front line much further at all for reasons. Stalin has also entered the Renaissance too. Sibir has graciously accepted the free city of Zaranj by taking it by pure military force, while Attila's horse archers look on. The Huns have also died down and fighting now as well. Attila is busy sleeping despite the cries of war. It seems like Afghan forces are marching around the mountains of Lahore under fire to take the city. This could fit in for a movie very nicely indeed. The Grand Wobbegong Armada regroups and holds off Rizal, while Quezon is under fire from the ground. Which is troubling. The Trunk sisters have gotten so tired of Rizal and his wars that they join in on the gangbang, moving their navy onto the border ready for war. This is an absolute disaster for the Philippines. This would mean that Manila is now under threat. If successful, Vietnam will definitely have a field day on the power rankings. Nothing to see here, just some crossbows and Brazilians. And a Mexican trireme in the Atlantic who must have crossed Nassau or went around the Cape. It's pretty boring. Begin the Aleutian Islands campaign. The Japanese fleet is sailing for Sikhotsip Mike, with no Blackfoot in sight to oppose. Looks like the Inuit will do all the hard work for their friend. Oh, and England announced Ireland. Anybody surprised? Kamehameha has taken advantage of the Australians and Yakutians and their cool stuff to enter the Renaissance. What a sneaky bugger. Oh well, those privateers do send an eerie message of who's the boss in these oceans. In a shocking twist, Hitler kisses and makes up with King David. Seems like David's plan on converting Hitler will massively change the course of politics in the clusterfuck that is Europe. At least the greatest war in known history in terms of amount of verbal assaults thrown at each other has ended at last. Also, Attila made peace with Finland. Now Finland can finally focus on finishing up Finife's destiny on an unsuspected Stalin. Still a massive battle at Antium raging on through the fading lights of darkness. A single dead Portuguese trireme stands at the city gates of Rome, shouting insults before it is about to be sunken. Maria's great strategy is certainly paying off. The daring assault on Busan is mediocre at best. Vietnam has sent a large task force north to suppress their loud northerly neighbour Chairman Miao, and the embarked units at Busan, like the Portuguese trireme, won't stand long against the onslaught. Sikhotsip Smike is just about to fall to Meiji, thus opening up the front lines a bit. Inuit forces are busy chilling in Alaska, oblivious to the Japanese to the south. At least it isn't them falling first. They hated those cities being there anyway. Attila has also signed another important peace treaty with the Mori, because Attila just couldn't handle it all. Also, interesting placement of naval units, Australia. This could get interesting real fast. Snowballing just yet? Australians settle further east, angering the Maori with bitter resentment. Man, those one-tile islands are such great contributors to an empire the size of glorious Australia. A little look at the Falkland Isles. Eva Perón has always hated Chile for doing this, same as Elizabeth. Why so angry, guys? It's just a small, really cool island with cool wildlife. Also, that Chilean star is kind of annoying, as it sorta looks like the capital city icon. Wow, Lahore looks sure to be taken very soon. Just move that trebuchet out and a night in quickly. Probably by far the hardest city to take in the game. It's like the Crown from PlanetSide 2. Siberian cavalry are also marching throughout many parts of Timor right now too. Saladin is having breakfast while he awaits the news of Quilu's capture. Mansa Musa is rage-quitting at his stupidity, and his officers are all disappointed. At least Carthage has open borders, I guess, but too late now to save Quilu's inevitable fate. Congo Diadlaza might also get taken, which will still make Africa look ugly. Slight peek at Canada and Lester B. Pearson, but not much else here other than ice, more ice, and tundra. Oh look, Finnish scouts! These guys are also busy looking for nice places to settle, if it were even feasibly possible. I may be mistaken, however, those could be Texans looking to defect. Who knows? And there we go! First phase of the Aleutian Islands campaign complete. Blackfoot reinforcements still nowhere to be seen, and the Inuit seem busy going in circles too much following the Arctic winds and waves, but not to where they are needed. Sani Rajak is next. Or will it? Come on, Inuit. Oh, and Sibir tells Vietnam to get lost. As predicted, Chairman Miao is failing horribly at Busan, while Korean turtle ships laugh their asses off watching. Vietnam's anti-China task force is moving steadily northwards, and Tibet has a brilliant chance for Ho'alu. Can Tibet enter empire? More irrelevant wars. Yeah, keep them coming. It's not like they go anywhere other than how Braga turned out. Look, an actual war! Shaka got so damn bored of having impis doing nothing that he DOWs on Congo alongside Haile Selassie. But unless Burrs accept open borders, then Shaka will have to squeeze his men through one tile to attack Nkuna, so good luck. But hey, let's be positive that he actually did something today. Not very usual at all indeed. Is Augustus Caesar still alive? Is he? Did he survive that fall into the pit by Leonidas and was rescued by the last legion and evacuated to Anatolia? Stalin must have known about this. There's no other way. In any case, the ballistae are nowhere to be seen at all, which is worrying. The last legion should seek a political asylum in Israel somewhere. In any case, we will never know what happened to that Buck City by Brazil, but it would seem that it failed. Now, stat time. Australia making all the babies. Texas is recovering, so never mind what I said earlier. And the Boers are again rising upwards. These people are all going to fall eventually. My best wishes, Byzantium. You let your brother die by the same foe who took your own capital. Highest in tech yet again. Interesting seeing that Afghanistan is rising up rapidly. Lahore hasn't yet fallen, but tech-wise, Mirwise is doing great. Rip, guys. I wish you luck in future endeavors. All of these civs are also relatively tiny in land area and or turtles. England isn't there, however. Again? Okay, no objection there. He is about 25% stronger than Yakutia, so yeah, holy shit. Nice job Hawaii, by the way. Apparently, the Ashanti have the combined military manpower of a Babylonian nuclear submarine. Well, if this were real life, that's amazing and all, but that's still embarrassing. The Huns, England and the Philippines again are here. Glorious Inuit, strong and big. Australia is just settling one-tile islands. Inuit are actually settling land now, which is an important point to make. Sibir is also growing too. Same list, same fates. These guys are the absolute turtliest turtlers of them all. Small, squishy, and just really small. And religions. Judaism is still rapidly growing and has all of Western Europe for itself, with most followers in most cities. Also note the poor Ayyubids Islam has been abolished literally. No cities but dedicated followers are keeping it alive in many parts of the Ayyubids lands. And even more importantly, the map. Catholicism is snowballing through Canada and Inuit land, and is also on the very edge of spreading and having all of South America to itself. So that will be awesome. Eastern Orthodoxy, all of Africa to itself. And the Australian continent begins to convert to Buddhism. Indonesia first, then Kimberley, Australia, and of course the little turtle Maori. Okay, that's it. Phew. I have been constantly writing, editing, revising, rewriting, and thinking for the past 4 hours straight, and I'm barely 10 minutes now to the deadline of it getting uploaded. As a result, this might be delayed, so I deeply apologize, but I'm pretty proud of the 6,000 word I was able to write in such hurriedness and panic. I just got notified to write this at about 3:30 AM EST, technically this morning right now, haha. Please feel free for constructive criticism and such. I worked hard ensuring this wouldn't be a massive disaster and ugly to read. I had to rush it in the end, thus less amount of writing near the end, but still good quality. Again, thank you. I am username Professor Reddit, signing off. Thanks.